Welcome to your new wrestling obsession. This is Off the Mat. Welcome. I hope you guys are having a great night. Sticks, Dom, welcome. I think we got quite a show for you guys tonight. Yep. We're going to do our Crown Jewel recap. We're going to go through the news. And could it possibly be that the injury to Seth Rollins could force WWE to actually have to
change
be creative?
Yep.
We're going to get to that and so much more tonight. I hope you guys are having, again, a great week. Hope you enjoyed a great week of professional wrestling. Dom, Sticks, how are you boys tonight?
Oh, man, I'm just getting over New York City Comic-Con, NYCC. It was a blast. It was tiring. And now I'm preparing for Baltimore, which is kind of unreal. I didn't even finish posting pictures and things for New York City Comic-Con. And now we'll go right into Baltimore. And I get to see Mr. Stick Boy 73 in person over there, which is cool, man.
They're going to Greco-Roman wrestle.
Yeah. And look, I'm going to be honest, I'll tell you right now.
Sticks is pressing his singlet just to take you on, Dom.
So, I met up with Karrion Kross. He's one hell of a dude. Good guy. And I got his book. Got it autoed by him and his wife. And they're really good people. And we talked a little bit. You know, I actually held up the line, which was kind of crazy. I had people waiting in line, and they were looking at me. And somebody I knew, he actually texted me. He said, "What the hell were you guys talking about?" He goes, "You were holding up the line." And they were like,
"Come on, you bald fuck, move."
Just about. But no, listen, we talked about a bunch of things. And, you know, and I hope, keep your fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. You know, I reached out to him to see if he comes out to the show. You know, I've been, I talked to him, and he sounds like a genuine, sincere guy. And
good.
We'll see what happens. You know.
Yeah, we got to start reaching out to more wrestlers and getting more interviews on here and talking professional wrestling, and reach out to maybe some other content creators and collab with some people and really get things going here. But Sticks, how about you, buddy? How was your Crown Jewel experience? Did you wake up at 8:30 in the morning to watch Crown Jewel, or 8 o'clock in the morning?
I actually woke up at 5 in the morning to watch the pre-show.
Oh,
then I realized the pre-show was well, to be fair, I thought it started at 5 a.m. I'm like, oh wait, no, it's pre-show. So I just kind of laid back down. And,
so did you actually ESPN it? Are you an official member of the ESPN app now? No. VPN?
No. No.
Oh.
I have other sources that
third party, huh?
Third party illegal streaming services.
Fourth party. You know, it's not. You know.
Nice.
Back in the day when before I'm gonna get into some Doctor Who here, so I apologize. Back in the day before Doctor Who was on like BBC America, there used to be an app called Rabbit TV, which was like kind of like Twitch, kind of like that kind of platform where people would put on shows on there. Mm-hmm. That's how I would get my.
Was that the TV app with the Rabbit?
It's kind of the same. It's kind of the same thing I'm using now. Rabbit TV is no longer, but there's other similar apps out there that I use.
You know, it's kind of like everything's going with the Day of the Dinosaur. You know, we had some sad news. This dropped yesterday. After 40 years plus, MTV is shutting down.
MTV's been dead for decades.
It's still a thing.
The video star killed the radio star, and I guess corporations killed
the radio star.
So
I would say YouTube.
The reality shows killed MTV.
No, I would say the YouTube killed the MTV, because nobody went to MTV for music videos anymore after YouTube, when you can just search up exactly.
They hardly ever played it. It was all reality TV after a while.
Every time I think that shit, Jersey Shore, get that
out. Jersey Shore.
You live that shit, don't you?
No, I tell you what. You know, if Jersey Shore, it's Snooki. It's Snooki running around.
The Dom Shore.
Freaking The Situation.
Dom's good friends with Mike The Situation, I heard.
Yeah, well, you know what's funny about the Mike Situation? Definitely, he came to the hotel, and he came there one year, and I talked to him. I said, "What's up, Situation? I'm the Domination. Enjoy your evening."
The Domination.
Yeah, baby.
Who's this guy?
Hey, listen. Hey, that's better than him calling down to Woodwind, telling Woodwind, don't let anybody take my car that looks like me. He called down Woodwind. He called the services in the job to say, please don't have any valet that looks like me drive my car. I'm like, kind of damn drugs you on, son?
Who looks like you?
Anyway.
We'll just send Dom to drive it around. Hurry around, Dom.
That's right. The domination is here to please, baby.
Great,
all right. Well, now that we know that domination is here to please, why don't we get into talking and recapping Crown Jewel Perth that happened early Saturday morning. I was actually sick with the flu all weekend, so I was awake at 4 a.m. my time and watched Crown Jewel from start to finish. So,
yeah, you had an even earlier time.
Oh,
so
yeah,
you're 3 hours behind.
I actually watched the first two matches before I left to go to Comic-Con. So you know what? For what it's worth, it was okay.
I didn't think it was horrible.
It wasn't horrible. I can tell you this. You may disagree with me. This show is better than WrestlePalooza.
I don't disagree with you at all. I feel it was a solid B show. Don't disagree with you. It was much better. It was much better than WrestlePalooza.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. First match of the day, Roman Reigns was defeated by the tribal thief Bronson Reed.
That was a very well. We all know that there was other tangibles that occurred that made it happen, but still, big Bronson Reed took out the tribal chief, solidified himself as a legit contender in the world of wrestling, and the sky's the limit now for this big man. He took out the number one guy.
Yeah, it was a good physical match. I think the outcome was exactly what it needed to be. And sky's the limits kind of for Bronson Reed. Although I found the best part of the match was kind of at the end of the night when Roman was looking at Jimmy and Jay, and he was like, I told you both. He's like, I don't even want to see you. He's like, I love you, but I don't even want to see you all till Christmas.
No, he even he even heard in the ring, he turned around, he goes, I told you. Now people think the people are gonna look at me like I'm shit. he said shit. And they were like looking at him, and he was just all pissed off. And he's like, "But you know what?
Yeah,
that's going to implode. Creative storytelling can make that very interesting if they do it the right way. But we'll see. Yeah. But Big Bronson Reed is the winner.
We'll talk more on him later on in the show. But and I will tell you that we all called on this one. We all had Bronson Reed on this one. So there, that not for nothing. We knew what the ending was going to be.
Oh yeah.
Up next was the Rhea Ripley and Io Sky defeating Asuka and Kairi Sane.
I thought this was an incredible match. I thought this was pretty much the match of the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Other than Cody and Seth, which was really, really good too. Or actually, no, I take that back. John Cena, AJ Styles probably stole the night for me.
Oh yeah.
But this was a solid
moment-wise
women's. Yeah, it's kind of like neck and neck right there with the AJ Styles John Cena match.
Let me ask you a question. They got good chemistry in the ring together, and they obviously like each other a lot. They always grabbing each other, jumping on each other, always doing something. Just make out with her already. I think that they should go for the tag team championships. I think they should try to go for the belts. The later on, they have to get past the Survivor Series and stuff like that. Become a tag team, and because look right now, their time as individual champions are done. Give them the tag team gold
a little bit,
and they can go around for a little bit and have that. At least have and both of them don't need championships to get a pop. They're very right now. They're at the top of the women's division, and they're definitely their names alone don't need to have gold around them. But if you're going to do that, tag team champions all the way.
I don't know. I kind of would rather them put the belts on Zarya and Sol Ruka right now versus these two.
Yeah, no, you're right. No, you're right on that. I can give you that.
But I do love me some Rio. I thought Rio was a good they're a great tag team. It was a great match. I think it's definitely setting up for Asuka versus Io 1-on-1. Probably a Saturday night main event.
Maybe.
At the beginning of November, which will lead into hopefully I'm hoping now that things are going to shift that we're going to talk about later with the injury to Seth, and we're going to just get a women's War Games match instead of a men's War Games match as well. And hopefully it's probably going to lead to a women's War Games match, which I could see somehow Becky Lynch being brought into it, somehow AJ Lee being brought into it with Nikki Bella, since they all Nikki Bella kind of also has this issue with Asuka and Kyrie. So you kind of have the women's War Games match already set up here with Rhea, Io, AJ Lee, Nikki Bella on one side versus, Asuka, Kyrie, and whoever they add into that group. Because now they're going to have to find new directions for a lot of people.
Well, listen, when we discuss later on the other stuff we discuss, there's different ways they can do things. I got some ideas with, hopefully, maybe they use some of the ideas, or hopefully we'll see what's what. But War Games is definitely going to be changed dramatically now because the direction things are going. But yes, this match was really good, and they do have chemistry in the other ring. And like I said, we'll see what happens this week coming up, and what happens towards Survivor Series with them. Yeah, Io has to beat her mentor. That's a big thing. That's the top of the thing. You really freaking Rhea Ripley has to still beat Io Sky. Never beat Io Sky in a match. So that's gonna have to wait because they have buddies again. Well,
these two have plenty of time left in their tank.
Yeah.
So that'll come at some point.
It's funny. Io Sky was just on a podcast. What's his name? The guy who does all the podcasts.
Chris Van Vliet.
Yeah, he. So she was saying that she's very nervous. A lot of times she's always nervous when she comes out her English. She speaks, and when she does things, she's just very nervous. And a lot of the stuff that she does, like when she does she's trying to cope with being nervous. And she's so cute.
It distracts her. It distracts her from
Yeah, she's cute. So I kind of like
I know people who do that. I know people who do that.
But like I said, she is one of the best female wrestlers out there. She does do a lot of moves and crazy stuff. But we'll see. Like I said,
great high flyer. Yeah,
she's very athletic.
I also, watching this match was such a great match. How many times have we said in the past for these PLEs that the women, the female matches, have been either the best of the show or stole the show?
Yeah. Over the men.
Just the last 6 months.
The women are great.
Yeah. So,
and
I'm not surprised this was a banger of a match. I'm really
getting more time in the ring now than they did before. So we'll see what happens with that. All right.
Yep. So there we go. All right. Up next, Stephanie Vacour beat Tiffany time to get the Crown Jewel Championship.
I'm going to be honest with you. This pay-per-view, there were really no interferences in the matches. Really think about it. With the exception of Roman Reigns, if you really think about it, it was the Stephanie Vacour and Tiffany Stratton. Great match. It was a good solid match.
Yeah.
And she definitely
Here's the one thing I'll say about like, and I'll say it for the men as well. The Crown Jewel champion, it didn't matter who won because their individual championships weren't on the line.
Yeah, I know, but
So,
it still solidifies who's the best champion of the brand.
Well, best champion of the brand, but it also gives you an idea of where they're going to push, right? So by giving her the belt, that gives her the edge to the push. Yeah, Tiffany's already got the belt. She's already been getting pushed. And like I said, I think I said this last week. I said they're both getting pushes.
Yeah,
but
I mean, how much more can you push Stephanie? She's already won 4 titles in the last 12 months.
No, I know.
In 2025 alone, she's won 4 titles.
She's a female. She broke a record for 4 titles in a year span for a female.
And this is nothing more than a like
a garnish,
glorified pat on the back. Like it's not even like a real championship. It's just like a hey, good job. You know,
it's not like next year she's going to come back and defend it.
Let me ask you a question. Why does that damn belt look like a body armor? You put it around your waist.
Dude, it's huge.
Yeah, it does look like
her entire body.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, that thing is huge. It's huge. Imagine that on EO Sky. She'd be able to hide behind it.
She would be entirely the belt.
No, imagine Hornswoggle wearing that. Then you just have the belt with shoes.
Oh yeah, he'd be like.
Yeah, he would just be like a chin and torso.
Yeah, but let's get to be fair to the match. The match was still good. Again, the women held up the men with greatness with their matches this week. Here's
what I'll say about this match is, you know, some wrestling fans, not all, especially if you watch this show, you're very bright and intelligent and you know you have great taste, but some wrestling fans are just the epitome of stupidity. Because I can't tell you how many posts and how many people on social media I saw crying, well, having Tiffany lose this match buries her and she's your main champion. What? Having Tiffany lose this match to Stephanie buries her. Triple H is just giving everything to Stephanie Bakir and burying Tiffany Stratton.
You know,
she is the WWE champion. Stephanie Bakir is the world heavyweight champion. Lose it. Someone has to lose. You're not burying Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton has been champion. She's done a great job being champion. She's not burying. She's in no way buried because she takes a loss.
Well, listen, you can't please everybody.
No,
but use your head. Like, the math. Sometimes the math doesn't matter, man. You know, you can't sit here and say just because Tiffany took a loss to Stephanie, who has been doing this longer, is, in my opinion, a far superior wrestler.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. If you really think about it, Raw took over tonight because the women's and men's champions was from Raw. SmackDown took a back seat. So there could be a discussion on that alone, that there might be some changes coming along. You know, thinking about it, that we might be seeing something because of all the things that have been happening, and the major thing that just happened. There could be a direction, and look, yes, I'm going to bring it up. The draft might be postponed.
There's no draft. There's no draft.
It might be postponed. I'm just saying.
For those in the audience, if you had Dom saying anything about the draft tonight on your bingo card, please make sure you check that out.
Exactly.
Right,
take a drink.
No, because there's no more Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar came in.
Yeah, take a drink.
But I got to talk about my boy Ethan Page. Don't worry about it. There you go. Put it there.
There's another mark on the bigger card.
You got 3 things: Brock Lesnar, Ethan Page, and freaking the draft. No, I'm just saying the fact is that it was kind of crazy that both the women and men took the crown jewel, and it tells you something. Mm-hmm. Do they have any faith in SmackDown? You know what I'm saying? With the whole situation. That's why I think there's a lot of creative changes. So that means we might be seeing some really good. We might be seeing good storylines that people talked about. You know,
I don't think it's a faith thing. I don't think it said they don't have faith in SmackDown. Like, if you really look at it, the Cody Rhodes,
need help.
Seth Rollins match, Seth Rollins was the only way to go with that match.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll tell you this, man. Well, we'll get to that, but this match right here, Stephanie Fakir, the way things are going, she's going to be her next line of battle is going to be with Roxanne Perez.
Dude,
you know, I know you hate Judgment Day, but you know, it's a part of life. You got to take it. But
no, it's not that I hate Judgment. We'll get there. But that's the thing is like Stephanie, you got the new hotness. Stephanie has been the hottest female wrestler of 2025. She's must see. Everybody loves Stephanie. She got a big push in NXT, got brought to the main roster. Then unfortunately, she had a bacterial infection and had to miss time. But they put her rocket. They strapped a rocket to her back, and they're sending her to the moon. So it does not surprise me, especially after she just won the World Heavyweight Championship. It was without question she was going to win this match.
Oh yeah,
like she is the more popular of the two. Not that Tiffany's not popular, but right now Stephanie is the more popular of the two.
Well, Stephanie's like the new shiny car,
new shiny toy.
New toy that people want. You know,
yeah.
Like Stephanie, you have Stephanie, you have Tiffany on your Tiffany Stratton on your shelf as the toy you had before, and all of a sudden you see her come along. Go, oh, I need that toy. So yeah. So
Tiffany didn't win at Crown Jewel because she got her moment earlier the year at WrestleMania when she beat Charlotte Flair.
Yep.
That was her deal. Like I knew the minute Stephanie won that match and that Tiffany retained, Stephanie was winning this match.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? And it was a pretty decent match. It was good. They put on a good show.
Yep. Okay. One thing I was gonna say that it got too deep, so I forgot what I was gonna say. But
it got too deep.
it got too deep because I started listening to you guys, and I forgot what I was gonna say earlier. That
you went down the rabbit hole of listening to us.
Tiffany. Oh, I know what it was. You were talking about SmackDown. SmackDown needs help. The last week was great. You know, it was good, but that's 1 week. It needs to be more consistent with it.
Yes.
So that's all I was saying. They need to be more consistent.
Raw has to be built up because of Netflix. SmackDown is on USA. So there, you know, you can have wrestling in USA. Yeah, mind you, you can have some good wrestlers on there, but you need the primo wrestlers on Netflix because Netflix is paying the money.
Raw is their flagship commodity. It shouldn't need help. It should already be firing on all cylinders.
Well, we're gonna see now.
But because they stopped the bloodline thing just before January. Didn't know where to go, and they didn't know where to go.
That stopping the bloodline.
We talked about that.
Biggest mistakes.
On end.
Well, we'll talk about that later on. Let's get through this because that was a big mistake.
Yeah.
Fantastic match.
This was
the callback.
This was
the callbacks, just the emotion, the crowd was with it. I have to give a salute. This was a fantastic match.
Well, not to mention the match started off with John Cena just being a class act by handing the announcer Alicia Taylor that note to read for AJ Styles, and just highlighting his career and complimenting him. It was a great final match for some great rivals.
When he said freaking AJ Styles, the Bullet Club, I was like, oh,
the ace of the Bullet Club.
I was like, wow,
the face that runs the place. Yep,
that was awesome.
It was. I've seen a lot of criticism online too about this match, and people's like, it was nothing more than a finisher fest and a spot fest. Yeah, 100% it was. Yeah, what did you think it was going to be? You had no build for it. It was built by promos from AJ Styles because John Cena hadn't been seen since WrestlePalooza, and there was no build to it. It was just two rivals that are at the end of their career going at it one last time. And you got a beautiful finisher fest. You got John Cena absolutely killing it and paying tribute to Bray Wyatt by hitting AJ Styles with Sister Abigail. And kudos to AJ Styles for basically taking every single one of them and kicking out. Like,
oh my God, yes.
It was crazy. I like when the Fireflies came out, when he did Sister Abigail. That was great. That was great.
AJ knew what he was getting into and went right with the flow. And it was great.
It was a beautiful match. It was the story was perfectly told. These two gentlemen, handled it with class and grace and paid tribute to all of their classic rivals. I mean, you had tributes to Chris Jericho, you had Randy Orton, John Cena hitting an RKO, even though it was a little sloppy.
Yes, it was.
It wasn't quite Randy level RKO, but hitting an RKO, hitting Styles Clash, hitting, the Sister Abigail, like it was all there. All there.
Did you say you mentioned the Walls of Jericho? You did the Walls of Jericho?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I was surprised he did that
finale.
Yep.
So
yeah. No,
he
great
hit
match.
All the high notes.
It's
I want to talk about something. How about the end press conference when Perth just completely dominated and took over the presser at the end with the "We Want Edge" chants?
Yep.
And Hunter saying, "You can't have them," and they just started singing Edge's theme song behind Hunter, like so loud they drowned Hunter out. Like you couldn't even hear what he was saying to Big E and the rest of the post-show commentary team.
What did you hear what they said during Rhea Ripley's spot in the post-show?
No, what?
They were chanting at Asuka, calling her a C word.
Oh. Well, yeah, they were calling.
Damn.
Were they calling her a class act? They're calling her a class act.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, class act. Yes.
I'll see you next Tuesday.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll see you next Tuesday. So yeah, that's crazy stuff, but great crowd. The crowd was really great.
Like I said, we're finally getting the stuff. We're finally getting the stuff that we wanted. John Cena where he should have been before he went heel, but that was a great match. This match, I gotta say, I have to applaud. Seth Rollins did so many different things that he's never done before, and especially the move that cost the injury. Eddie did it on his own, with the exception, as I said, he took out the watch. He had the watch in his hand, and he took out. He uppercutted him, this and that. But think about it. The watch. What is the watch going to do to somebody? The watch ain't going to knock somebody out.
Are you kidding me? A Rolex? That thing.
Dude, it's not the brass knuckles that freaking goddamn Logan Paul has.
That thing would bust you open, man.
Yeah, but not the way it is. I still think that he did it on his own. The watch didn't mean it, but the watch is symbolic towards this whole thing because that's the watch that freaking Cody Rhodes gave him. But it was unfortunate that the way he landed and he injured the shoulder, which we'll discuss later on. But this match was this match was really good. I did enjoy it, and we knew the outcome on this. We knew what the outcome was going to be on this.
Yeah. The writing was on the wall for this match. We knew he was going to win. It's too bad he did get injured. I mean, his injury was rather similar to like Liv Morgan's, where his so it's too bad.
Well, hey,
but the match itself was great, and he finished up. I don't know.
He finished the match.
How bad it was at that point, but
listen,
how
you got to remember these guys are troopers. Remember Cody Rhodes finished up with the torn pies.
I know.
The chest pectoral muscle. Yeah. So they're professionals, and
they're professional, but they're also human beings.
I know.
And listen, you get injured.
When you do what they do, you're going to get injured 9 out of 10 times. Plain and simple. And it sucks that Seth got hurt. which really changes a lot of factors moving forward.
Well, let's be honest. Seth got hurt doing a move he didn't need to do.
Exactly.
As cool as it was trying to pull the Shane McMahon coast to coast with the diving headbutt, if he probably would have went for a drop kick like Shane McMahon does versus a headbutt from across the ring, we're not talking about this injury. And he did this, and Cody hit the crossroads off the top rope. That's cool. This match had big spots. It had great storytelling. It was pageantry at its finest and only the way professional wrestling can deliver it. But Seth's injury is kind of Seth's fault because he didn't have to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sucks. It really sucks because, we all, look, I don't mind Seth having the championship. I didn't mind that. I know we had our issues about Seth having the championship when he won, Money in the Bank and all stuff like that. That he was going to win, and you were like, freaking Seth's going to win again. Seth doesn't. Look, let's put it this way. Seth, without the championship, is a much better wrestler than with the championship.
That's what I said. He's much better chasing the championship than he as champion.
And champion.
Let's face it, Seth Rollins in this era is not the face of the company. He's never going to be the face of the company. The face of the company was John Cena.
Yep.
And then when he went away, it was Roman Reigns. And now John Cena is leaving, but Roman Reigns never fully had it because John Cena is still around.
Yeah.
But now that John Cena is walking away, it's going to be Roman Reigns solo, even though he's a part-timer. And then you probably have Cody as a close second. Yeah. And Seth's probably not even third because you probably have CM Punk at third and Seth as a fourth. So Seth isn't even the face of the company right now. And if you really look at it, Seth Rollins, when it's all said and done, he's this era of wrestling's Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh, yeah.
He's to Macho Man to what Hulk Hogan was. He's Roman Reigns is this century's Hulk Hogan, where Seth Rollins is just Macho Man. Not that there's anything wrong with Macho Man. Macho Man is a legend and a Hall of Famer in his own right, but he always played second fiddle to Hogan, and that's kind of what Seth is. He is Roman Reigns' Macho Man.
So
that's fair.
Regardless of the fact that he did that move, if he didn't do that move, we wouldn't be talking. Like you said, we wouldn't be talking about the injury. Yeah. But it was a solid match. They went beyond what they normally do. They did some stuff that they normally don't pull out of the bags. And look, think about it. You understand. Cody is 40 years old, right? How old is Cody? 38, 40?
Yeah,
I think he's
pretty close.
37 or 38.
And Seth Rollins is 40 years old. So you think about it. These are moves that, yes, even if you're younger, you probably get hurt this and that. But
Cody is 40.
40, right? He's 40, right? So
he's 40.
And Seth Rollins is 40 himself too, or 41. Right? Just because if you're that old, if you're that of age, I would not do some of these moves that some they do.
Seth is 39.
39, okay, 39.
Oh, yeah.
So he's still young. And we can rest assured that we probably won't see him until like next Survivor Series. Which fucking sucks.
No, I don't know. I think his injury is just like I said. It's just similar to.
Well, listen, but when we get into it, there's some medical things about him, this and that make you wonder, and you're gonna have to see what happens. But I think this match was good. I think this match ended the Cody and Seth rivalry. That's it. It shouldn't be part of it anymore. But now there could be a lot more at stake now because now Seth injured changes the dynamic of the entire of the both brands. If you really think about it, Seth is a big part of the viewership of Netflix. He's a huge star of Netflix. You need to replace him now for stardom of somebody of that caliber. So that means, like I said, the draft might not happen, but you'll have your guys on the shows that are there. But champions can travel and make things happen. So you could have battles. So you could have the guys popping up on shows randomly, and that's what they should have. Just have that and starting fights, just to make things interesting, because you're going to need that viewership. Because Netflix, to be honest, Netflix is also complaining about what TKO is doing with the same thing with ESPN. So there's got to be a big change, and hopefully the creative change that Triple H was talking about and the what's going on now, hopefully it's things to come, and we'll see what happens. But good match.
Yeah, that whole thing, we'll see how that plays out. This
pay-per-view was much better than WrestlePalooza. I enjoyed this match, and it left me a little satisfied that it was pretty good. Unfortunately, we didn't know that Seth got hurt, but he kind of like grimaced when he got up. His shoulder, he was like kind of holding his other thing. So kind of that, and then we saw that actually Monday night, with on Raw. So all right, Sticks, all right. Give us the rundown. Who's the winner?
Let's get to the tail of the tape here, as they say. It was pretty close, actually. Both you and Matt got
Matt.
You got every match correct. Where I picked Tiffany.
He called a perfect PLE, Dom.
That's
perfect PLE.
There we go, man.
So
perfection.
There you're co-champions for the Crown Jewel. Not bad, because this one really wasn't as easy as some of the other ones, but we saw where things were going.
Yeah.
I just picked Tiffany, and that's where I went wrong. So
five-time IWC off the mat champion.
Now I have a special slide for you guys to
coming for you, Cena.
Go for that championship time. I got a special slide for you guys to see what you think. To kind of sum up what's been going on this week. Now I'll put that up there for you.
Okay.
This year has been the most championship drop, not because of a pin, but because of being vacated. Either we'll call it Naomi really isn't a botch unless you Jimmy falling on her and getting her pregnant.
Pregnant. So the fact is that she can't wrestle pregnant. They do have pregnant wrestling matches, but you can't have it there. Liv is unfortunate with Liv.
Yeah.
That happened, and now Seth joins that parade, which really sucks. And think about it. Look, Liv and Seth alone are definitely superstars that are definitely missed. But Naomi was doing her best work, her best promos. She really was doing good.
Yeah, she was definitely on a generational run.
Exactly. So I actually, so it is a big loss. Definitely a big loss for WWE fans and WWE universe. These three major stars. Liv. Liv could be. Liv is at the. She's training twice a day to try to come back quick. So you probably see her for the Royal Rumble. Naomi probably after she gives birth, you'll see her come back maybe towards the next one of the pay-per-views next year. And now Seth, who knows how long Seth is going to be out?
I think realistically on Naomi, you're probably looking at Royal Rumble 2027.
Yeah. Rhea Ripley?
No.
I mean
Naomi.
Yeah. 2020. But actually, no. I don't think 2027. I think maybe because she wants to stay probably with the baby. Yeah, probably right.
Well, she could be back before this Royal Rumble. So that's
you got to think she's gonna have
27 puts her what in Saudi, right? That's in Saudi.
It's really 10 months to have a baby. And then she not only that, it's going to be time getting the baby, and getting her body back in wrestling shape. You're probably looking at, like I said, a year and a half. So you're probably looking at Royal Rumble 2027.
Or maybe before Royal Rumble. Maybe
Royal Rumble 2026 is in Saudi. So
so
2027.
26 is in Saudi this year?
Yeah.
Is in Saudi or next year?
Yeah.
Or next year, 27 is WrestleMania in Saudi.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I wouldn't have said she would come back. Yeah, I guess if Royal Rumble isn't in Saudi, maybe Royal Rumble, or I probably would have pushed her to Elimination Chamber.
I tell you what, man, it really sucks that 2 out of the 3 wrestlers shoulder injuries, which I know it's part of the game. It's definitely it's bound to happen. The moves that they do and the choices that they make for these crazy acrobatic moves. So we'll see. Like I said, Seth. So to get back to Seth, there's been a lot of chatter on the interwebs about the medical this and that. So they're talking about 6 to 12 months, and they're saying it's the same type of shoulder injury that Chad Gable had. So Chad Gable is going to be out for a while. So this marks that he's going to probably be out. And the thing that sucks too? We're never going to get the Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins match because 2015 he messed his knee up with Kane. When he picked up Kane to put him to the table, and he tweaked his knee. Now you have the shoulder. So the 2 times that they're going to try to have the Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins went out the window. I know it's sad too. When they finally do get a chance to meet up, Roman Reigns will probably have some issues that he has to be take a long time off too. Because remember, he's working on a movie career, and it's not easy with leukemia. Taking the medicine and this and that. So there was a report that he was extremely jet lagged from the flying with the stuff. He still went to the gym, and he was tired. So they said they still showed that he went to the gym to work out. But they're saying that the medicine and just the treatments knocked the shit out of him. So you can see less and less of Roman Reigns because, like I said, his movie career is picking up. Why would you want to risk yourself in the ring, knowing that you have that, leukemia and this and that, and all those bumps and bruises really affected because you're taking the medicine. Your body can't react and generate the way it would without the medicine, because the medicine actually weakens the muscle, weakens the tissue. So those bumps and bruises that you usually get when you're a strong contender, they tend to last longer and hurt much more. So, well, we'll see. Like I said,
thank you, Dr. Dominic.
Seth Rollins. It's really a shame, with Seth Rollins. But.
Well, I think you have to preface too that we don't know what's going on with Seth Rollins.
Exactly. And a lot of people are calling it work again because because with the knee issue, and that's the thing. They say, is this so? Monday night, we all seen what happened Monday night and Monday morning because it was in Australia. I got the call from Matt telling me, "Did you see the ending?" And I said, I go, "What happened?" He goes, "Cray." I go, "Just tell me. I don't care. Just tell me." He goes, "Division's no more." I said, "What the hell happened?" And then he told me, and then he sent me the Facebook link. And I was like, that was a holy shit moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you could see, like I said, when I watched the show later on, the seeds were planted for that to happen.
Yeah, a little bit.
But here's the thing. I don't know if they were, though. Like, I think that if anybody was clued in on it, only Bron Breakker was told about it. Because if you look at Paul Heyman, after he spears him, Paul Heyman says in the ring, he mouths, "What the fuck are you doing?"
He said
Paul Heyman had no. I don't know if Paul Heyman had any idea.
And
Bronson I don't Reed, think he knew at all.
No. So I think that's another thing too. You see, so there's a lot of problem with creative in the back too. They're upset at the fact that with the with Seth Rollins doing the thing with his knee earlier in the year, that they weren't told. So I think if you don't tell somebody there's more of a shock and awe factor that you see somebody's face. So you tell the person that's doing it, just this has happened, and all of a sudden, like, what the hell just happened? Like, you don't let people in on. And I think that's the best way to getting that really like, big pop.
100%.
And having the look on someone's face, like, holy shit, like, what the hell? What? Are you kidding me? But
yeah.
Like I said, did I know that was going to happen? No. But when Seth was going on and talking about bigger things happening, the 6 because it's been the best time that he had for 6 months, and the next 6 months, 18 months, 12 months, 18 months, this and that, and something big is on the horizon, And he was like saying, Bronson Reed, you're good, Bron you're Bron Breakker, listen, you're the GOAT, this and that, and then kissed, Paul Heyman on the head, all these things. I'm like, yes, heels do that, but the way Seth was acting was more like a face than a heel. But when he did the promo, I don't need anybody to beat anybody. So it was like two different Seth Rollins. You had Seth in the back, the way he was. I'm on cloud 9, this and that. Everything is all working. So he's happy about that. But then when he was in the ring, I didn't need anybody. I needed Bron Breakker. I didn't need Bronson Reed. I didn't need Paul Heyman. I did it all on my own. So now I want to get into a little speculation before we get into the news. About the whole thing with Seth Rollins now. If you don't mind, Matt.
It's your show, Dom. It's your show too. Whatever you want to talk about.
So it's going to change a lot. It's going to change the landscape now of Raw moving forward. That possibly Monday night, you're going to see the belt taken away from him, and it's going to be up for grabs.
Yeah.
So, and we all know that CM Punk now is the #1 contender for the belt, and it's supposed to be Saturday Night Main Event. If I was WWE Creative, you have LA Knight, Jey Uso, and Bron Breakker fight to be who's going to fight CM Punk for the belt, because someone's going to win that belt. That belt has to be won in Saturday Night Main Event. So you're going to have a Saturday Night Main Event that someone's going to actually win a belt, which is great, because we always talked about the Saturday Night Main Event that nobody ever wins anything, a Saturday Night Main Event. So you have that. With that, you got to, you should have LA Knight becoming the #1 contender to fight CM Punk. It should be LA Knight. Because I don't think they're going to give it to Jey Uso anymore.
So wait, you think Punk's going to win the belt at Saturday Night Main
Event?
No,
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I'm just saying that, somebody's got to win a belt. Someone's got to win the belt, because now it's up for grabs. So if you have a 3-man #1 contenders match to face CM Punk at Saturday Night Main Event, you're going to have a winner. Somebody's got to win that belt. So it'll be, so me personally, I would love to see LA Knight back in the fold and at least going for that belt against CM Punk. But you also know that shenanigans will happen in that ring by that situation. I also think if you really want creative, if you really want people to talk, it's kind of ironic that Seth Rollins hurt his shoulder and has to give up the belt. Who else hurt their shoulder and had to vindicate the belt?
Finny B.
Yes. So if I was the writers of WWE, what I would do is Seth would be in the ring with Pierce giving up the belt, this and that. Have Finn Balor come out and mock Seth Rollins. How does it feel?
Yeah.
Well, it even adds a layer to it since Seth's the one that hurt him.
Exactly. So he hurt him, but the fact is that he's hurt now. So how does it feel to vindicate your belt? You hurt your shoulder, this and that. And he's still sore about that with Seth Rollins.
Sure he is.
Now, you have Judgment Day. You have JD McDonough will come out with Finn Balor talking about The belt, how's it feel? All these things. You have Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker come out and destroy Finn Balor and JD McDonough, who's supposed to have a match with AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. So you have Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker fight AJ Styles and freaking
Dragon Lee.
And Dragon Lee. For that, who can fight the next time for the belt. So now you bring Judgment Day into the fact with Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker and the whole thing with Seth Rollins. So now you have them going for the tag team championships. If you really want to make a statement with them, they win the belts. Even though AJ Styles and you have to give them eventually down the road, but you have Bronson Reed and freaking Bron Breakker win the belts. They're tag team champions. And now Bron Breakker sets his sights on trying to go for become the champion. Like I said, I would interfere in the match between Cena, between CM Punk and if it's LA Knight. If they do that, LA Knight wins the belt, and Bron Breakker is going after freaking LA Knight.
Yeah.
So all these different layers of the story you could have by bringing all these people in, and the whole fact is that, like I said, the Finn Balor thing with the shoulder thing, that would work and will get a big pop. That story continues, that long-term storytelling. And it finally comes full circle. And then later on, you could start putting Finn Balor in the picture again. Because now Bron Breakker beat the shit out of him. He's going to go after Bron Breakker. And so these guys are going to go after him. So later on, you could have more of a rivalry. You could start putting Finn Balor in the picture, in the championship picture again down the road. To bring him up again, because he's never got that opportunity again for the championship like he did before he hurt his shoulder. So long-term storytelling adds layers to the conflicted story already as it is. And you can phase out Seth for the time being and bring in other aspects of the storyline, because Seth is going to be missed. Definitely, no ifs, ands, or buts. You can't replace Seth, but you can replace good storytelling and layers to stories that would make sense and make the crowd interested. So give or take, and like I said, you can still have AJ Styles and freaking Dragon Lee in the picture going after Bron Breakker, this and that, and you have JD McDonough. You can have that, and then Finn Balor starts getting obsessed with the freaking championship again, that he knows it's up for grabs. Like, then you can have him start building the seeds down the road. Then later on, when you have Seth Rollins come back, he's coming back as a babyface. That's the whole thing. He's going to come back as a babyface, get a big pop. Finn Balor can be who he is, and Finn Balor can. Here, how about Finn Balor as a champion when Seth comes back down the road, and then Seth has to fight him for the belt? That'd be great. That he's fighting that, because now you're gonna have to take away the story with Seth and freaking Roman for the time being. And who's to say Seth comes back, you don't team up with Roman? They've been going back and forth, and they're still standing. So when you have people betraying each other for the time being, back and forth, they'll make a stronger connection down the road. And they did team back up down the road again. It's not that Roman Reigns really hates freaking Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins really hates Roman Reigns. They reunited to take the Shield a few years ago. So, right. but it would be cool to have Finn Balor come out in Monday Night Raw.
Putting Finn in the mix, I can totally see. Just for the couple of reasons that you said there, I can totally see that. So, I mean, wouldn't be the worst thing they've done.
I can see that, but on the other hand, my mind goes automatically to it's time to pass the guard to the next generation. So I really think you don't put the belt on Punk. You don't have LA Knight involved in this at all. You continue what you started. You continue with the Vision storyline. Now, the Vision got rid of Seth Rollins, who really doesn't need that group. He doesn't need the vision. He didn't need Bron Breakker or Bronson Reed. He didn't need Paul Heyman. This is now officially Paul Heyman's group.
Yep.
So you probably are going to get Paul Heyman adding Brock Lesnar. They've already kind of sprinkled that along. Continue with what you're building. This is the perfect time for them to add an Ethan Page, to add you could even have Ricky Starks or Ricky Saints join with the NXT Championship.
What about
you can have Austin Theory come out. Start with the new younger guard, the younger generation, under the tutelage of Paul Heyman. This is now Paul Heyman's group. But you started your Bron Breakker push. Have Bron Breakker versus CM Punk at Saturday Night Main Event for the title. You have Bron Breakker beat CM Punk for that title. CM Punk doesn't need the title. He's because if you put the belt on CM Punk now, where does he go from here? He's been better chasing the title. I think ultimately you maybe move Punk to SmackDown and you have Punk win Elimination Chamber next year, and you have CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania.
Because where is Elimination Chamber next year?
Where is it? Chicago?
Chicago. It's in Chicago next year.
So then you work towards CM Punk versus Cody
Just
Rhodes
announced that today
at WrestleMania. So I think having Paul Heyman be the leader of the Vision, even if you change the name, and you add Brock Lesnar. I've seen a lot of people talking about that.
The Killer Bees?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Triple Bs. The Triple Bs.
The Killer Bees.
Or and you can continue to add more people that can be under the tutelage.
Please, the one thing I don't want to happen, I'm sorry, Matt, the one thing I don't want to happen, that they put the belt on Brock Lesnar again. I don't want that.
No, I don't think they're going to.
Because Netflix
going to Bron Breakker.
Netflix might push for that because they want that big pop and they like Brock Lesnar. I hope that doesn't happen. And then you have Bron Breakker going after Brock Lesnar. That's why you have him fight WrestleMania 42. He has the belt and that's how you have Bron Breakker winning the belt off of Brock Lesnar. That's the only thing,
But I'll say this: the other thing that Seth's injury does, and I started the show with this, is that it sucks that he was injured. You never want to see a superstar get injured, but ultimately, was this a good thing? Because Seth's championship run was boring up until Raw on Monday. Raw ended the same way for like 6 weeks in a row. And even this Raw, like after the end of it, I was like, oh, here we go. Raw's gonna end the same goddamn way as it has. Here comes Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed, destroying everybody. Oh, here comes Seth. The Vision's gonna stand tall. And I was about to turn Netflix off. And what made me not was Seth sitting there talking and Breakker in the corner. And I was like, they even kind of did their signature tease where they were going to sign off. They ran the credits. And then after that, I was they still haven't gone off. They're still going. What's happening? And I saw Breakker and I was like, oh no, they're not going to do this, are they? And because all night you saw Seth, he kind of had he's in the baggy clothes. He had his arm by his side when he was cutting the promo earlier, but now his arm is down. Breaker's not paying attention. He spent all night telling him, I don't need anybody else, but then turning around and praising him. And I was like, are they going to do this? Really? And then you see Bron, and you kind of got hints of it when they're coming down the ramp, and Bron Breakker comes from behind Seth to run down the ramp and spear Jey Uso. And then he's starting to leave, and he just runs around to spear LA Knight. And then they beat down Punk. I was like, yep, here we go. It's the same thing. But Breakker in that corner really got my attention. I was like, Seth's talking, Breaker's not by his side. What are we doing here? And then the spear came, and I was like, oh my God, they're doing this. He must be injured. It must be a real injury. Yeah. And then you saw the reaction of Heyman of, you know, because I've watched it a few times back, the reaction of Heyman and mouthing, "What the fuck are you doing?" to Bronson in the ring. I'm like, Heyman doesn't know what's going on, and you can tell by his face, he doesn't know what's going on. Neither did Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
You know,
And I was like, Bronson Reed does what Bronson Reed, the whole thing he's bragged about since joining the Vision is that he tsunamied Seth Rollins 6 times. Like, so what does he do? He pulls him to the corner and hits him with a tsunami. Yeah.
You know what the funny thing is? So there was like some word on, you know, on the webs about that this could be the biggest ruse of all, that Seth looks weak, and when CM Punk thinks he's vulnerable, that he beats CM Punk, that it was all part of his master plan. Because remember, Seth had a master plan. You know, and we've seen wrestlers get beat down by their team, and then when they finally meet up with the person, it turns out to be it was all part of a master plan.
Can you imagine on that point the backlash WWE would get? They already have internal problems with their wrestlers trusting them over the ruse of the century when Seth faked the knee injury at Saturday Night Main Event, only to cash in at SummerSlam. Could you imagine they're already getting backlash about no creative and their creative lacking and Triple H playing it safe. Could you imagine the shitstorm they would get if they regurgitated the same plot line?
Oh yeah,
just a few months later. I think it's a legit injury, and I don't think we've heard really the extent of it, because this unlike what happened at that Saturday Night Main Event, this one happened in Australia. So Seth had to fly back to the States because they were just there Monday. So he had to fly back to the States. So he probably just got back to the States today because we're doing this on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So he probably just got back to the States. He's got to get seen by Dr. James Andrews. He's got to get, you know, kind of those testings, figure out the extent of the injury. And that's why we're hearing, well, it could be shoulder or rotator cuff, you know. It just depends on the injury.
They would accept a break would be better than the
that's one of the higher ups said, that a break would be better, because at least at a break he's only going to miss 6 weeks.
He'll be back exactly.
So he'll be back in time, you know, for towards the end of the year. I think this is a good thing, and I say that because not that Seth got injured, but it forces WWE to pivot. He can't play it. Triple H can't play it safe anymore. He has to pivot. He has to build creative now. And I think this is where WWE kind of shines, like with the Liv Morgan thing, is when their back is against the wall and they have no choice but to think outside the box. Their state play is gone. They have to elevate now.
Do you think now, Matt, that they'll pick somebody really good from NXT to join? I still think that the Vision has another member coming. They're going to have another member coming now, you know, because I don't think it's just going to be them. I think that there's a bigger picture in the future with the Vision, you know.
Well, I think it changes the Vision completely, because
it does.
Before, we had nothing more than a bloodline rehash where Seth was becoming Roman and he had his lackeys. Now we can have a group that is Paul Heyman led. Paul Heyman is the one calling the shots. And he already kind of was, because Seth kind of separated himself from Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed there for the last couple of weeks.
Well, let me ask you a question. Oh, I'm sorry to stop you.
No, go ahead.
What does that do with Becky Lynch now? She just joined the bloodline. I mean,
you have Becky do her own thing, and you have Seth. See, where I think Seth comes back as a heel. He was doing great heel work. He's always better as a heel. You have Seth come back as a heel, and you have Seth and Becky be a heel power couple when he comes back without the Vision.
I know, but I think that ESPN, Netflix is forcing. They want Seth Rollins as a face, and that's what's happening now. ESPN, Netflix, they're the ones that are paying the big money. So if they come out with an idea and say, we want these guys to be this and do that, the WWE has to listen, because they're paying the big money. So when he comes back, I think, yes, he's going to go after the Vision.
I don't know how much they have in the way of like creative. Like, I think they have to say, listen, we want wrestler X, Y, and Z on this show because we're paying the big bucks for them. But I don't think they're going to say, we want Seth Rollins on this show as a heel. I don't think WWE is going to let him get involved that much in things. I don't think they would negotiate that kind of deal because that's kind of handcuffing them and allowing somebody else to control their creative. But I think it just means Triple H can't play it safe anymore. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you have Paul Heyman lead this group. You have him bring in Brock Lesnar. You put that belt on Bron Breakker, and you let that group go crazy. You let Paul Heyman build up the next generation of wrestlers in Bronson Reed, Bron Breakker, Brock Lesnar, and insert 2 more members here: Austin Theory, like I said, Ricky Saints, Ethan Page, Oba Femi. Now you could bring Oba Femi. It just make an absolute monster of a group that just runs roughshod all over WWE. Could you imagine that group if it was Oba Femi, Brock Lesnar, Bron Breakker, and Bronson Reed? It'd be insanity.
You go right to friggin' SmackDown. You take over the Bloodline over there. The friggin' the MFCs. You fight them over there. You fight the Wyatt Six. You can just dominate anything, any of the programs, which would be cool. You want that. You want that. You want to make a statement. You want to go to the other friggin' thing and just take out the big groups saying my team is more dominant than all you. And then if you want war games, you have war games against all the groups. Because now, like I said, it changes what war games should be. Which probably,
I mean, they kind of built in their war games change pivot on SmackDown when they did. Sorry, the top of my head it's hard being a salami. They kind of pivoted away from potentially that war games match where now they're doing the MFTs versus the Wyatt Six, which to me is stupid because the war games match is usually a way to end a feud, not start a feud. And there's not really a feud there between them. Like, they just showed up and kind of called their shot.
I know, but I think maybe you're gonna wait to see what's going to remember. November 27th is
that's the best part of it. Is we have a month and a half build now till SummerSlam. We don't, or not SummerSlam, but till Survivor Series. We don't have to, wait. It's not a 3 week in between pay-per-views. Like, we don't even have another one until a main roster show until the beginning of November for Saturday Night Main Event. And Saturday Night Main Event, you don't even have to really do that much. You just have to give CM Punk an opponent and put the title on the line for his set opponent. That's it.
Like I said, Monday night they should have, like I said, for the belt, you have a number 1 contender to fight CM Punk. You're gonna have to do that. Or, like I said, sometimes I like doing the battle royal shit. Have a battle royal, have a bunch of people in the battle royal, and the winner faces CM Punk. That's the thing. Me personally, like I said, Jey Uso is never going to win the belt again. That's it. He's done with the belt situation. The next time he wins the belt, probably be tag team champion. So that's why if you have Bronson Reed and freaking Bron Breakker winning the tag team championships, the Usos go after those championships. And there you go. You have two tag teams right there. You still have Dragon Lee with AJ Styles. You still have the Judgment Day with Finn Balor and JD McDonough, and then you add another group to come in. You bring another group to come in, and you can have them take one of the Motor City Machine Guns from SmackDown, put them on Raw.
Where have they been?
Yeah, exactly. They've been out. That's another thing. They've been out too. And where's DIY? Right too.
Yeah.
So
I just think that, like I said, Seth's injury forces a creative pivot that I don't know Triple H would have done without it because he liked to play it safe.
But he did say creative changes were coming.
Yes, he did.
He did. This was before Seth Rollins got hurt. So who's to say that this was all part of the plan already? Actually, this was part of the plan, but not this fast.
They've come out and said that they weren't that this event on Monday is 100% because of Seth's injury, and they had plans of kicking Seth out of the group, but it wasn't for till like later on down the road, maybe a year out. So they had to like, put those plans on hyperspeed. But
another thing too is that it was getting bland. People were getting bored of the vision.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. They weren't doing it.
You have to look at the fact that I think they're more exciting by themselves, but they'll be exciting if you put it in Austin Theory, you put it in Ethan Page or Ricky Saints. You do that, or Obafemi. You put one of those guys with that group, it'll raise the bar. So, and you're right. If you really think about it, Seth Rollins is the old wave. These are the new up and comers. So you could actually have that again. Remember they had the old timers versus the newbies one time before. But this time you do it in a different way. But the fact is that you have that type of thing, because CM Punk is almost 50. LA Knight is 43, 44. Everybody's getting old. I'm thinking Roman Reigns is in his 40s.
I mean, you mentioned it a little while ago that Jey Uso's never won the belt. I'm here to tell you, I don't think LA Knight's ever going to hold a world championship.
Never.
He's never going to be world heavyweight or WWE champion.
If he wins, he holds on it for like a couple of months and then loses it like Jey Uso did.
I don't
think so. Just to give him the belt.
LA Knight ever. That just doesn't seem to be what they want him to do. He was mid card. They took he had 2 stints with the mid card belt. They took it off of him, and now he's kind of been chasing Seth Rollins ever since. I don't see him winning that championship. Could Triple H do it? Decide to do it now? Yeah, but I think all signs point to, especially the way Raw ended with Breakker holding that belt up. I think all roads lead to Bron Breakker winning that World Heavyweight Championship off, at Saturday Night Main Event between him and CM Punk. That's it. Just imagine.
But then they should
imagine that group: Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, Bron Breakker, Obafemi, or Ricky Saints, Ethan Page, whatever. This is how like the brutality where every match they would have to just be more and more brutal because they would just be pushing each other to those levels.
Yeah, but Brock Lesnar's not a team player.
You could change that. He doesn't have to be a team player. He could just show up, wreck shit, and leave.
I know, but like I said, that Bron Breakker, Brock Lesnar thing will probably happen in WrestleMania. So look, let's put it this way. Now that the dramatic has changed, like you were saying about the fact that Brock Lesnar is joining the group to help Seth and everybody out, now it changes that now if he has a tag, that he still has to be promised a championship match down the road. And that's how you get Bron Breakker versus Brock Lesnar.
I think that's taken away now, because if you set it up to where Paul Heyman is the actual leader of the Vision now, that changes everything as far as Brock Lesnar is concerned, because Brock Lesnar could just align himself with Paul Heyman now because he's a Brock Lesnar guy and Heyman is calling the shots and he can kind of get what he wants with Heyman and things like that. Like, I think the fact that you add Paul Heyman as the new leader, ipso facto leader of the Vision, it kind of changes that, reasoning for Brock Lesnar. He no longer has to make this deal, that deal of that I was talking about before. It kind of changes things a little bit. I think anyways. But that's just theoretical, because I think it leads to more interesting stuff, because hell, you could even have, we've talked about him before, you could have Ilya Dragunov come be part of this group. Just get the next generation out there front and center and start pushing them.
And they did have a saying that they're not building new stars. Now there's the chance to build new stars.
Right, exactly, 100%. And, too, it sets up new feuds. Bron Breakker versus Gunther, Bron Breakker versus Roman Reigns. It sets up clearer, cleaner feuds now. And most of all, it shakes up the creative, and it forces Triple H to potentially make some decisions that aren't so safe. We say that he's safe. He makes the safe play. Yeah. Well, now it's time to change that narrative. And and change things up. And you could easily just throw a monkey wrench in everything now. Let chaos reign, and that's it. Just feels like both rosters are so depleted now with injuries.
Yeah,
like SmackDown is so depleted with injuries.
Yeah. SmackDown. Listen, you had Tonga. What was it? Tonga come back, friggin' finally.
Tonga's
come back.
Yeah.
But I actually dig the war paint, the paint in the face. I think that's makes it more intimidating. I actually thought that was pretty cool. But like I said, you're gonna have like Dragunov is on his. They've been talking about him coming back. Gunther should be coming back. Who's to say that Gunther doesn't get put in? Say Monday night, they have a freaking number one contenders match to fight CM Punk, and Gunther's not going to win. I'm just saying, but Gunther comes back to be part of that scenario.
I just thought it was funny that you had the MFTs coming back looking full on like dead presidents, just the white paint faced. And
I thought it was pretty cool. They came back. They looked freaking menacing. They freaking beat the shit out of like there's so many storylines you can freaking do, and you can integrate the storylines into other storylines. You got Dirty Dom with the freaking El Grande Americanos and now Rusev. You could put Finn Balor right into the Vision Quest freaking storyline that will give them more substance for being with that storyline. You have AJ Styles with Dragon Lee. Having them team up for a little bit until AJ Styles is going to retire sometime in 2020, the end of 2026. So you could have him go for one more run for the Intercontinental Championship down the road. There's many possibilities, man, that you could have. The Usos, coming, freaking Roman Reigns is going to be part of this whole thing. Like you can make all these changes and have good storylines, and not your favorite wrestler don't have to win all the time.
No,
they
don't.
They can still be a top-notch wrestler even though they lose, but at least the storyline is good. That you keep coming back. The Bloodline storyline, people keep coming back. They want to see what the hell the next thing was. And then you had the story without Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns was out, but Sami Zayn made it fun.
But that story clearly ran its course, though, because you had people lost interest. They tried to redo it with, what's his name, Solo Sikoa, and it didn't hit the way it did previously.
You had to wait to do that. Did the whole thing with Paul? See, that's the whole thing. You just had to continue. There was ways of doing it, but they abruptly just shut it down, and that was the problem with that. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Six.
Well, we got to yeah, they probably could have kept going with it. Problem was that they went so high with it, right? That it had to come down. Yeah, if they'd have kept it more gradual, they probably could. They'd probably be still going with it.
Everybody had their. I know everybody ran their course in the team itself, the group, but there were still other ways they could have continued it. Like how they interacted it. Like it's how the storyline was going. That Cody finished the story, right? Then you had Kevin Owens being upset with Cody for doing what he did. Then you had friggin' everybody was McIntyre. Everybody was getting mad at Cody for teaming up, and that storyline just kept going, which was great. And we were all saying that they're gonna make a brand new Shield. I was saying Seth Rollins, friggin' McIntyre and KO are gonna form a new forming the Shield type of thing to go after Cody because of Cody's betrayal, the way Cody did things. Like there were so many other ways they could. And you know what, Matt, you're right. They're probably listening to all these stories saying, somebody's a good. Let's throw a swerve here and do this, And sometimes the stories, they throw much shit at walls to see what sticks. You know, they could have did other things. There could have been other opportunities, but don't know. Can't know now because you have Kevin Owens out. Might be out for the next 2 years, 3 years, depending on. He actually lost weight. He's looking pretty good. Keeping fit.
I don't know, Sticks. You've been pretty quiet. What do you think about it all?
Yeah. So I mean, I look forward to what they can do as individuals. Yes, they're probably good as the tag team for the Vision. Paul Heyman definitely can help these two. Seth didn't need help. We've already said that. I don't think that giving them the push is the wrong way to go. John mentioned maybe giving it to LA Knight, Jey Uso. These guys have already been in that. We've had that circle already for the last 3 to 4 months since WrestleMania, really, with Jey beating Gunther. Now he's going after, this whole pissing match with LA Knight over the number 1 contender for the titles. I think it's got to be. You got to end it at some point. What's that?
WWE news, breaking news, but it's not breaking yet. But it's potential. Not Seth Rollins, but it says many in the WWE believe that the Chris Jericho's return to the company is already a done deal.
Yeah, that's been talked about for months now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I said it during the Crown Jewel segment. I said, hey, just John Cena doing Walls of Jericho. It's kind of a telltale sign to me. Whereas if he wasn't coming to the company, they wouldn't have done it. They wouldn't have let him do it. Don't do anyone whose stuff is in our circle, right? Do you agree with that? That they wouldn't have him do it if he wasn't going to be coming?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. So by letting him do Walls of Jericho, it told me that he will be showing up at probably Royal Rumble. His contract done the end of this month, beginning of December, somewhere in November. I don't remember. I know it's within a month or so. But so no, I mean the Vision storyline will keep going. It just won't have Seth, and I'm all right with that. We've already talked about they didn't need Seth. They do need Heyman to keep him on track. Where to go, because I think Heyman's good with the talent that way.
What I'm saying is the wrestling the chat. They sent something.
I mean, yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Sticks, and I'm not surprised Jericho's coming back, gonna finish that career. He's kind of at the end of it. Like nobody wanted him in AEW anymore. The fact that the crowd was chanting, "Please retire."
Right. Yeah. When you're far from me to say he's not, but when you're the top talent, you don't want people to retire. That's not what you want to hear from a crowd. No matter what, no matter what, you're still out there trying to perform and entertain. If you think your crowd wants you to retire, that gets in your head.
I don't know, Dom. Like this can't be. You can't do this twice.
I know, and I'm saying to myself, you can't. But was just looking at footage of Crown Jewel, right? When he jumped from the one side of the ring to the other, landed on his arm, got up, did a move, grabbed Cody Rhodes with the arm that he injured with no pain.
But you got to think adrenaline's running at that point.
Yeah, that's right. I know. And then the move in the next hit that he got hit by Cody Rhodes, off the top of the ring and landed on the same shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets up and he falls, and when he lands, his arm. The arm hits the mat first. He pushes himself. So I don't know, man. Like, look.
But the whole thing with LA Knight is he faked it in the match. They stopped the match.
And he lost.
If he doesn't take that picture outside while getting ice cream with a fan where his arm's in a sling,
but nobody knows
he's injured.
But he did the freaking the brace on his knee with his daughter. He was outside with the brace. Look,
what I'm saying is, in the LA Knight angle, he feigned the injury. He played it up. They ended the match because of it.
Look,
and this one, he didn't play an injury. He didn't fake an injury. They didn't end the match because of it. He wasn't like my shoulder. If it wasn't for that ice cream picture where he's in a sling, there's no talk of him being injured.
I just sent you the video. Watch. It's from a different angle from when he jumps and he hits Cody on the angle of the Cody's in the ring, the rope. He lands, and then when he grabs, look, I know when you're injured, adrenaline flows, but you got to think about it. If you're injured and you really and you can't, because I've hurt my shoulder, not to a point where I needed surgery. It was strained it, and my shoulder was killing me, dude. I couldn't grab, I couldn't move. I was like, ow.
Here's the problem that you'll run into, though, if you do the same thing twice. The next time, it doesn't matter if it's Seth, it doesn't matter who it is. If they call an injury, everyone's going to say, the fuck you did. They're always going to say it's a work. Now
you know what?
Set it up as injuries are work.
No credibility within the company
I know,
anymore.
but think about this. Yeah. At this point, does fucking TKO give a shit? No, because they gave a shit. They would have brought back R-Truth, right? And gave him a storyline. They made him a comical and disappeared. Where the hell is R-Truth? They don't give a shit. They'll listen to the fans. They'll do this to the fans. They want to do their own storylines, and that's the problem too. Hey, listen, look, me personally, I actually really think that Seth is hurt. I really do. I know we all agree on that. But when you look at certain things, yes, he's a trooper. Same thing with Cody Rhodes. When Cody Rhodes tore his pec, he still finished the match, but you can see he was grimacing in pain a lot when he fought Seth. It's just
you can look at things from one angle and say injury, and then from a different angle, from like totally different, you could say maybe not. Every angle gives you a different outlook at it. But again, if you're going to do injury, it has to be.
And
you can't feign it. You can't fake it, because then you're
maybe get lucky.
Then other people are gonna.
You see the whole thing was like with Liv Morgan, right? The way she landed, it didn't even look that bad. But
she also finished that match too, though.
No, she did. But she was very gingerly on the arm. You could tell. Seth wasn't. He finished the match, but Seth was still landing on the damn arm. It pulled Cody Rhodes, pulled him in the middle of the ring with that arm. Got the crossroads, landed on that arm again. Yes, and he got also hit with Bron Breaker, when he hit the side, you see his arm. But it just definitely, like I said, me personally, yes, he is injured, but it just makes it look that way, that people are saying that that's the thing, that it's all a ruse. Again,
it's an elaborate ruse.
Yeah.
Well,
but who to figure out outstanding proportions.
I just think that I mean, we don't. The other thing we have to keep in mind too is we don't know the extent of his injury. We don't know what it is. We don't know if it is a torn rotated cuff, if it's a sprained shoulder, what it could be.
Dislocated shoulder.
We also don't know if the injury occurred after the dive, because the dive could have been the potential start of it, and maybe the crossroads or something he did after is what actually injured the shoulder.
Yeah, true. No,
and
true. Maybe he
made it go the rest of the way, or it could
have a torn rotator cuff to begin with. It was slightly torn already before he even got into the match, and it just aggravated the way he landed it. It made it worse than what it is. And look, what's worse? All right, what's worse? A dislocated shoulder or a freaking torn rotator cuff? If you really think about it,
torn rotator cuff.
Torn rotator cuff, yeah.
So if you dislocate it, you can come back. But see, but Liv had a dislocated shoulder. It wasn't a tear; it was dislocated, and she's out the same amount of time that Seth is going to be out.
But I think, if I recall, hers required surgery. Like, they couldn't just pop it back in. Hers required surgery to reset.
All right, so but if you, like I said, I've had tendonitis or whatever, working out shoulders, or freaking strained my shoulder, and it hurt for about 6 months, and then finally it went away. My shoulders still hurt; they're tight, but the whole fact is that my shoulders don't hurt like they did 6 months ago. Mm-hmm. So it's like shoulder is a very very delicate. Yes, you can be powerful pushing stuff, but all the ligaments that are in the rotator cuff and all that stuff like that's in this part of the shoulder, you could definitely be out for a while. So, like I said, Seth, yeah, I don't think it's a fake. I don't think it's a ruse. I don't think it's they're going to do this again. But you just got to be prepared, just in case.
I think if they do it, it's gonna be, if it is a work, it's gonna blow up in their face, and it's not gonna go over the way they.
I know.
Like a part in church.
Because people are already being hypercritical of WWE and their booking choices and the way matches are going. And if you do the same fake injury angle months apart, like within 2-3 months of each other, what are you doing here? And they're already saying that, like I said, you already have Dave Meltzer and all these people, the insiders, coming out saying that they're being told by higher ups that nobody within WWE believes Seth's really hurt.
Yep.
That they're questioning it, that they don't want to buy into it because of the ruse previously when they were told that Seth was legitimately hurt and he wasn't. But there's differences to this too, where like they weren't coming out and saying what the injury was with Seth, and just automatically everybody was like, this is a work, this is a work, this is a work. Look at the way he lands. He's fine. It's a work. Automatically, people just started speculating that this is what's going to happen. And that was essentially what the payoff was, is that Seth wasn't hurt. It was a ruse to get it back at CM Punk. And if he does it this time where, he feigns the injury. Well, he doesn't even have to feign the injury. Like, they don't have to use an injury angle. Maybe they just use the angle that he's kicked out of. If they just go like, okay, he's kicked out of the Vision, and Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed attacked him to kick him out, so that way they can get Punk thinking he's overconfident and that Seth has lost everything, and then it comes back that they come out and help Seth in the Ultimate Ruse. That's fine. That's cool.
Yeah, you know what? But
that works.
Like, the Edge thing with Judgment Day. If you really think about it, keeping on the group, and they had Edge outstayed his welcome with everybody.
Yeah.
I didn't have any friends for the time being. And then people started teaming up again. And this and that.
But just don't play an injury angle with it. Don't play up the injury. Just have Seth, come back and next week or the week after, and don't have him miss a bunch of time. If that's the case, that's fine. Whatever. But if it's going to be the same thing where he's faking an injury and comes back and this and that and the other thing, then it's just boring, and you've already got people questioning your creative. You already got people stating that WWE is stale. WWE couldn't, write their way out of a paper bag. It just, it would be that's kind of been their MO this year, is that they start all these factions with no payoff, or they just take storylines and abruptly end them and never get a payoff, or they just, turn the page and act like they never happened.
Yeah.
Carrying Cross. But that's just, I feel like we've covered the Seth injury and potentially where they go from here pretty well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Other big news is you got Dominic Mysterio calling out John Cena, telling Mr. Never Seen 17, if you want some, come get some.
Yep.
Saying that he'll see him on a Raw. He's 5 matches left. I'll be at a couple of Raws. I'm the double champion. This is the Dirty Championship run is what it's about. If you want some Cena, come get some. But I guess we just kind of got to see if Dirty Dom can survive Rusev on Monday. After surviving a match with Penta by putting genius move, putting the hammer to the ring bell in his boot and then hitting the 619 on Penta.
Like I said, you know what'd be cool about this whole thing with Rusev? Like I said, if Bron Breakker and freaking Bronson Reed come out, attack Finn Balor and Jamie, if that storyline happens, imagine Rusev, coming out. Because think about it. Well, the whole thing of Rusev coming out, you could have possibly a stare down with Rusev and Bronson Reed and freaking Bron Breakker. These matches happen, but I don't think Dirty Dom's gonna lose the belt. I don't think he's gonna lose the belt. He's not losing it. It's gonna be a crazy. We're gonna have tag team. Like I said, you're gonna have tag team championships on the line next week, on Monday. Also, the Intercontinental Championship on the line, which that's a pretty good Monday Night Raw. Someone's losing their belt. The belts are being lost. That's what I'm trying to say. Dirty Doms keeps the belt.
Judgment Day loses.
But
I mean, he's going to drop the belt at some point. I don't see him being double champ for very long. It's whether it's going to be Cena or Rusev. He drops.
Well, look. I think the best bet would be that Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker destroy Finn Balor and JD McDonough, and they can't fight, and you have them fight against AJ Styles and freaking Dragon Lee to become the number 1 contenders to fight for the belt. Because I think and then like I said, then you can have Bronson Reed go for the belt. I mean, Bron Breakker go for the belt. At some Survivor Series, well, Saturday Night Main Event. But Saturday Night Main Event could definitely be a big Saturday Night Main Event, November 1st. Going in to Survivor Series.
Well, that's the whole thing. That'll be interesting to see which way they push him towards.
What about? How about this? Do you think they go this route and scrap the fight of CM Punk?
No, because they're already promoting the Saturday Night Main Event, and Triple H came out and did on social media saying that CM Punk has a mountain to climb. So, I don't think. I think they're still going to go through with it 100%.
They should have the freaking a 4-way or a 3-way to determine the CM Punk's opponent. That's where Gunther comes back. You have to put Gunther. If Gunther comes back, you have him part of the 4-man thing, but Gunther don't win. So.
Well, like I mean, these all these guys that are coming back, they're all wild cards because you don't know when they're going to come back. Look at Bronson Reed. We didn't think he was going to come back for a while, and he shows up on
Saturday Night
Event and kicks ass. So nobody saw him coming back. We thought he wasn't coming back until January, February.
Hey, also, you see that Seth Rollins called freaking Bronson Reed the new tribal chief?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to say. Is a lot of different aspects that go into the storyline. That I said the seeds were planted for what happened. Like I said,
that was before the betrayal too. Remember, that's
I know. I'm just saying, but it's just you see the writing on the wall, but it's just very, very, suspect when it comes to certain things.
Yeah. Yeah, but that again.
In other news, we saw that NFL star Travis Kelce is potentially teasing a move to WWE after his playing career in the NFL is done.
Jeez, why?
During a recent edition of their New Heights podcast, the Kelce brothers sat down with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, that's why right there, to discuss their passion for wrestling. Travis Kelce expressed his interest in joining WWE. He said, "Listen, when the opportunity presents itself, I'll dive in there. I've been dreaming about this, been working on my moves in the living room for years, trying to get my chance. I feel like I'm more than an aerial act, though. I'm off the rope." In response, The Rock jokingly suggested that they team up, calling themselves the Final Boss and Travis. During the podcast, Jason Kelce also recalled his experience with WrestleMania 40, where he helped Rey Mysterio and Andrade in defeating Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar. Jason Kelce said, "Well, it was a complete honor for me and Lane. We actually, during the week, we didn't know what we were going to do or get asked to do. They're like, 'Hey, do you want to be part of it?' I'm like, 'All right. Well, we never wrestled. We went to the Monster Factory down in South Jersey, got some pointers, and saw wrestling on the that kind of tier, which was incredible. Very honored. Oh my God, I had a blast. I mean, they made it pretty easy. They were like, we're gonna just jump at this point, do this, and then boom, we're out here. So just bring the energy. That's all." With TKO's recent trend of celebrity wrestling matches, fans may soon see Travis Swift and his brother Jason Kelce cross over to WWE. Nah, let's not. We don't need to.
Yeah.
We're good.
No.
It's like you have him. You got friggin' iShow Speed showing up. He's in the performance center doing things. Come on, what are we doing?
So iShow Speed is doing it for his show, Speed Goes Pro. He did the first episode last week where he was trying to become a pro NFL player with Tom Brady and all that.
But how is this dude? Okay, aside, how is this dude with all these superstars?
Industry plant.
Basically.
I don't know. Listen, I'm not hating. It's just fact. I'm just scratching my head saying, how? Why?
I will say, this is all I'll say. This is not the first, not the last time you'll see celebrities getting involved.
I know.
I mean, for the longest time, especially football players, the long tradition of football players getting into wrestling, into a wrestling career.
Goldberg, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, but usually it's because their career never got off the ground. It wasn't after they had a Hall of Fame worthy career.
Freaking Roman Reigns. I know. Everybody played football. I know.
Yeah,
hey, where's Grunk? Right. I'd rather see Grunk come into the freaking play. What happened to Grunk?
He's got a great deal of NFL Today or whatever it is.
And he did his one WWE stint during COVID and then never again.
That was it. That was enough for him.
He kind of went the way of Travis Scott. Never to be heard from again.
Yeah. Well, also The Rock kind of slipped, potentially slipped that he might be John Cena's final opponent.
No.
The movie bombed, so he has to come back to make himself irrelevant.
His movie bombed. Movies.
Well, it sucks. The Smashing Machine look good. I want to actually still want to see it. I want to get a chance to see it. I just haven't but it didn't perform the way it should have.
It'll be on streaming before you know it.
Well, and again, I think that's because Taylor Swift decided to drop a movie for her album release title the same weekend, and there was no way that a movie that has such a niche audience like MMA fans was going to beat out Taylor Swift, the biggest music act in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, Taylor Swift. Didn't she used to date Popeye Jones?
Who?
Popeye Jones.
Popeye Jones
from the Dallas Mavericks when she was younger.
Are you just making up names now?
No, Popeye Jones. Go look him up.
I
Only
remember
Popeye
the
I know
name
is a
very
Sailor
vaguely.
The only Popeye I know is the Sailor Man.
So do I.
That's olive oil. Dating olive oil.
I don't think she. Are you talking about this big-eared dude?
Yes.
I don't think she ever married or dated Popeye Jones.
Yes, she did. They dated.
What?
I don't know, man.
Oh, maybe. You're right.
Yeah.
Happy for them, but I know she still misses me, Popeye Jones says.
Yeah, sure. Where is he now?
Yeah, off stalking somewhere because he looks like a creeper.
Yeah. Hey. So that makes you think about her taste.
Young and dumb. Young. Does that whole thing? Young and dumb.
But that's pretty much it. News-wise, what else did you?
Well, NXT. Did you watch NXT?
I did watch NXT. Yeah.
NXT and TNA. Friggin' Trick Williams lost the belt.
Yes, Trick Williams did lose the belt at Bound for Glory to
Santana.
You also had the Dudley Boys losing to the Hardys.
The Hardys.
And retiring and giving the Hardy Boys their boots.
Yep.
Great match. Great match.
It was good.
I didn't even think about running down Bound for Glory.
It was funny.
No.
Well, freaking Ethan Page made me laugh when he's gonna fight what's his name in Halloween Havoc. What's his name from AAA?
He's fighting Dr. Wagner Jr.
Dr. Wagner Jr. fighting. Exactly. And he started talking Spanish. He goes, well, I have no idea what the hell you just said.
Yeah.
But and then what was Ricky Saints looking up freaking Ava's dress?
After he gets knocked out backstage.
Yeah,
I saw that.
She's bending down. He has his eyes open, looking. What the hell's going on there?
Hey, listen. Still a dude.
That's some funny shit.
Just a dude playing a dude playing another
dude.
Yeah.
But wrestling all around, man. Also, didn't what's the name win the belt off of this girl?
What? What's her name? Win the belt off what girl?
What the hell's her name? That's so the was a chick. The one that Damian Priest was dating. What's her name? What's her name?
Lola Vice.
Lola Vice. Did she win a belt? She won something, I think. If I'm not mistaken.
On NXT.
Yeah. Because I think this girl got hurt. She's out. She's gonna be out.
I'm not sure.
No, because I'm trying to remember. NXT was the matches.
Somebody won a belt. Somebody won a belt at NXT. On NXT, somebody won a belt.
The matches were Josh Briggs versus Matt Cardona.
Matt Cardona lost. Which
Dr. Wagner Jr.
Did you hear the pop he got when he came out?
He got an incredible pop.
Incredible pop, man. Which
Dr. Wagner Jr. defeated Lexus King.
Yeah.
You had a bunch of backstage stuff. You had Blake Monroe beating Zarya. You got the announcement of this. There's going to be a tournament for El Grande Americano Speed Championship. OTM attacked Hank and Tank in the Culling. And you had Hardy's attacked by Dark State. And then you had the Battle Royale for the NXT Women's Championship that was won by Tatum Paxley, but that's it. That's all I can think of.
We didn't do the NXT. Remember we had the NXT the belt.
Yeah, remember Styx was sleepy last week, and he came in after his.
When you get that, championship. Who won that championship? Who won that?
Came in after his fatty McNap and totally didn't even have the result.
That was 2 weeks. I think that was
he was
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, this was last week.
Yeah, last week was supposed to be the results show.
Yeah,
and you came in after your fatty McNap, aka stuck at work, as you said.
I was stuck at work. Don't give me that.
We didn't get who won that challenge.
I can't remember everything. Hey, I did.
It wasn't Sticks, so he decided to just move on with his life.
Yep,
that's pretty much what that was. But what else? Anything else you guys want to touch about, rap about?
What else? What else can we talk about? What do you want to talk about? So, what do you want to talk about? I don't know.
Well, the only thing really else that happened recently, and I don't think we've talked about it, was that that Rampage finally did get arrested.
We talked about it last week.
Yep, we did.
Sleepy McSticks.
Hey,
while I was here, probably when
no, you were here. You were here
actually,
when I did it.
Actually, he came in late.
Okay.
It was just me and you, Matt. He popped in at the what? It wasn't. I think he might have missed the news when we talked about it.
No, it was later on in the evening. I talked about it.
I remember.
Definitely here.
Well,
good old Sleepy McSticks.
I'll go back and watch that episode again.
Me and Sticks would be going to Baltimore.
We did have a bunch of releases. Most of them were developmental talent. Except for
Ridge
a couple
Holland.
Ridge Holland. But they released Carl Anderson, who was injured. While he's injured, and then also Rich Holland, who's injured, but they're agreeing to continue to pay for Rich Holland's rehab.
Is it Ridge Holland?
Ridge Holland, yeah. And then they also released Wes Lee, which he wasn't really doing much in NXT.
No,
but then they have the rest of it was like a bunch of Evolve and ID talent.
Yeah. The Kylie Ray. She vacated her belt too because they announced she was pregnant, but her contract ran out at the end of the month anyway. Yeah,
and I think that's just going to be something we need to get used to, is the developmental talent getting released, because their developmental system's so deep now, especially with Evolve and ID, that if they're not cutting it, if they're not picking it up, if they're not getting ready to move up to NXT or the main roster, they're going to cut them loose and just go with the next fresh batch of people. So you kind of you got to kind of develop on the fly now. You can't take that time. Yeah. Like look at NXT that's got you have what's her name, who's the NXT Women's Champion right now.
What's her name? Well, she got hurt. She just got hurt.
Yeah, that's what I saw too, but I don't know if she's gonna vacate the title or not, or how serious it is. But I'm trying to think of her name. JC Jane.
JC Jane. She got hurt. I don't know if the injury is giving up the belt worthy type of injury, but that kind of sucks. See, and like I said, injuries can strike at any time.
But so. It took her forever to come along and progress, and now I don't think WWE is going to do that anymore. If you're not progressing and you're not moving forward, and they don't think that you've got what it takes, they're just going to be future endeavored.
Well, they have so many places to pull from. They can pull from if they want to. They can pull from what is it? OVW? Is that the other one?
All the people that get released have AEW. Because remember, Tony Khan has been writing AEW since he's 12 years old. So,
with his action figures.
Yeah.
We're dark helmet.
Do.
Other than that, really, I think we've covered pretty much what went on this week, majorly anyway.
What's the name? What's the girl? I forgot her name. The one that she was a tag team champion. They released them. She always did videos with Instagram videos with Damian Priest before he got with Lola Vice.
We talked about her returning to AEW last week.
Oh, okay. She's a lead. Okay. I missed that. I
Yeah.
Yes. Now I feel like Sticks. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I mean, you guys got to pay attention.
Damn it!
I brought it up last week.
Yeah,
You know what? And I know you did. I don't know. I just saw it today pop up on my my feed, and I was like, oh, let me get the throw some AEW stuff into the mix.
It's like people. It's like when people post, "Oh, this person died," right? Well, that guy died like either 6 years ago, 6 months ago.
Yeah.
You know,
And they show the date underneath. It's like, damn, how come I'm just seeing this now? I forgot.
Yeah.
But you know, Monday night's going to be definitely a must see Monday Night Raw, because if any of the speculation story we said happens on that'd be kind of cool.
And that's exactly what this does. And that's why I said it might be a good thing, because it makes Monday Night Raw must watch now. You're going to watch Monday Night Raw
because it's
to see
unpredictable.
why Braun Breaker did what he did, see what's going to happen. Monday Night Raw this week just became must see.
8 p.m. There is no early starts. 8 p.m. Well, the whole fact is, that's another thing too. Speaking about the Netflix and Raw, there's been a lot of uproar with the changing of the times. They kept changing times, and Netflix was getting pissed off because Netflix numbers are going down because of the times. And look, they just want a cohesive show.
They're not terrestrial though, Dom. They shouldn't even worry about what time it starts. They're not terrestrial.
But you understand that we as WWE and TKO worry more about the live view than the freaking going back and watching it. They want the live view to pop. That's what they want.
Right. They want the live. Typically, is where you have your most eyes.
The numbers for the live view is more important, and that's that thing. They always had that, like showing the later on. Look,
I'll
how
give them
good was the live view from Australia this week on Monday? You didn't probably get that many views because it was early in the morning, 8 a.m. For all the deadbeats that didn't work on freaking Monday morning and it stayed home, got to watch it.
Whoa! I worked Monday morning and still watched Monday Raw. I know. Okay?
I'm just saying.
I ain't no deadbeat.
I'm just saying deadbeat because I had to go to work.
I work hard during the week.
I had to go to work. I'm freaking Christopher Columbus, so I had to go to work.
I deserve my day off, Dom. Thank you very much.
No, but I'm just saying.
Sticks was busy chaperoning proms and homecomings all weekend.
I know.
So.
And now he's
going to
be chaperoning Halloween Havoc. You know,
Halloween Havoc's here in Arizona. It's like 2 hours from me. I thought about going.
Prescott, right?
Why don't you go?
Because I don't really want to drive to Prescott, and it's not really. There's nothing really that interests me. No, it's a beautiful area. It just there's not any of the matches that interest me. Dr. Wagner Jr. versus
Ethan Page. Ethan Page loses the belt, or he wins the belt off of Dr. Wagner?
I think this might be where Ethan Page loses the belt to become a member of the Vision.
There you go.
Because I really think we're gonna get one way or another. We were probably getting the new member of the Vision debuting at Saturday Night Main Event.
Yeah,
to help Seth.
And it could be Austin Theory too, because Austin Theory's name keeps popping up all over the freaking place.
I think it will be. Still. But just one last thing, a little public service announcement that comes to us via our friend CM Punk, friend of the program. Remember, do not turn up at airports, do not show up at hotels, and do not stalk wrestling or professional wrestlers. It's okay to be a fan, but these people aren't fans, they are creeps. If you want your autograph, wait outside the arena like most people, you'll probably get it. Don't stalk these people. Don't.
And knowing's half the battle.
That's right.
Joe.
Sticks, last call. And anything else you want to talk about?
For me, no. I think I'm good on topics.
Sticks or not Sticks. Dom, last call.
Not the man. Just trying to figure out what's going to happen, knowing that Seth Rollins is going to be out for a long period of time. That Netflix, the ratings will probably drop because definitely he is a ratings. He picks the ratings up because
I think the opposite. They're going to go up.
No, I'm just saying, but now we'll see. We'll see what the creative geniuses, Triple H, and the people behind the scenes can come up with the new version of the vision with Bron Breakker leading the way. You're right. The younger talent has a chance to shine now. You bring up some talent from NXT. You mix them in the mix. You either add them to the teams. Like I still think that Judgment Day is. See, I still think that Judgment Day is still going to stay together. I think things change now. Judgment Day is going to stay together. I think. I mean, they can still get another member. They're forever having a rotating opportunity, having somebody else. I still think that what happened?
But besides the Wyatt Six, correct me if I'm wrong. Besides the Wyatt Six, they're really the only active faction still.
Well,
because the division isn't really a faction anymore. There's two people.
Yeah, the MFTs.
Are they really a faction?
Solo, yes, they are. Solo believes that.
Well, I know he does.
Well, listen, you got to look at this one.
I guess.
Look, I think that I think no more. I think they'll kick out a member, but I think now they're going to try to build that team up to be really strong and be a little scary, a little dominant to try to make SmackDown something. Because now you don't have Jacob Fatu fighting them anymore. He's going after McIntyre. Yeah, where do you go with Cody Rhodes now? Who's going to go? You have the Cody Rhodes with Randy Orton. Randy Orton's going to probably turn heel eventually, down the road. That's been going on for a long time. He keeps picking up the belt and looking at the belt. You have that.
Weren't we supposed to get Zilla Fatu at some point?
Well, Zilla, Zilla's still on the other men's of he's doing the independent circuit right now. They haven't called up. I think plans changed.
He was you didn't run into any of those subway?
Well, actually, you know what?
New York Comic-Con?
Zilla was at my hotel. I wasn't there.
He was at New York Comic-Con too.
He was at New York Comic-Con. I saw the Hurricane. I didn't I said what's up to him. I saw Derby Allen. Derby Allen was at another booth. I saw Derby Allen. He was talking to some kids.
Before or after he assaulted John Moxley in the panel?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe before. I guess I don't know something, but I seen that. But like I said, the only person I really talked to was Karrion Kross and Scarlett. I got to talk to them. And there was other wrestlers there. Well, I told you I saw Matt Canova in Hasbro. He was in Hasbro looking at the toys, and I got to freaking give him a fist pound. He was looking at toys and this that. And did anybody see the toy video with Bronson Reed in the Dallas Toys store when he went to Dallas Vintage Toys?
No, I haven't.
He's a toy collector too. It's actually pretty good. It's funny. Yeah, he's getting back into collecting. So let's put it this way, man. Wrestlers, the wrestlers are just a bunch of big kids, just like everybody else, like me, like Sticks. I can't. I know Matt has toys, but he has posters in his back, this and that. So, he's probably calling me and you childs.
I don't have very many toys.
Yeah, listen, your toys are like your car and your stuff like that.
You play video I've got toys in a box still. I collect statues and stuff too, but I don't really have a lot of toys.
A lot of turtle. Listen, being a turtle fan, you're eating good, man. You're eating good. There's a lot of turtle stuff coming up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
A lot of stuff.
All right.
Listen, there's nothing else.
Really quick, Matt. You didn't see. I don't know if you watched on the Qualified on Friday. So this weekend was Stickstober. We've already had Domtober this month. So I was gifted a wrestling belt cooler, Buffalo Bills.
Ooh, nice.
Well, I actually want a belt. I want to get a belt. I want to put a belt in my background, since I do the wrestling show. But I want the belt.
Nice.
With, all right, you see where you have the other teams on the side of the belt? I want to have 4 little like circles, like one with the Decepticon, the Soundwave, one with Hordak, one with the Minosaur symbol, and one with Zartan, the Dreadnought symbol, and then the middle, Boba Fett's
the Domtober championship belt.
Yeah, Domtober, and I want to put it back, Domtober. Have Domtober written on it. I want that for myself. I want to get a professional belt made.
There's places that make belts.
Oh yeah, there's. Listen, I'm willing to pay a couple bucks for a professional belt to have in the background. I'd rather have it up here now.
I'll pay $20 for a cardboard copy.
Yeah, so
You got to get it with Boba Fett face plates.
Yeah,
side plates.
Well, the side plates I want to have Hordak, the Evil Horde, Decepticons, with Soundwave, and the Dreadnoughts, and the Mintosaur for the Mandalorians. I want to have that, but Boba Fett's faceplate right in the middle. And I want that belt because those are all the things I like, man.
If you're gonna have that belt, you better defend that belt.
I'll defend it. Many moons ago, we were at a party and my brother and everybody was there. So my friend my brother hit me with a chair. My younger brother hit me with a chair. I went flying, then my friend grabbed me and gave me the rock bottom on the table. And we're like that. So that was in front of my first wife. It was funny when they did it. I was in my 30s. I was a youngin. Now I'm in my 50s. Closing on 55. Speed limit. So.
Can't drive 55. All right. Well, that'll do it this week because Dom's got to get to bed because he's got a big trip ahead of him tomorrow.
I got a big 3-hour freaking train ride tomorrow morning. What
I got a 6-hour
tomorrow?
car ride
tomorrow?
What?
You going up tomorrow? Yeah.
I'm gonna wait till nighttime. I'm gonna drive at night.
Oh, so you're gonna go Friday? So you're gonna go Friday morning? You're gonna get there Friday morning?
Yeah. I'll get there Friday morning.
I'm getting a day before. Like I said, I'm going with my mother-in-law. She's coming around for the ride, and she actually was. We talked to her, so she's like, "What do you do at the Comic-Con? What do you talk about? Star Trek?" I'm like, "No, there's other things to talk about." Because you walk around, you can be. I said for some reason, Marco and everybody wants to meet you. So.
On that note, if you guys want more from any of us, you can catch more from Sticks of Dom's Fridays over on Renovision on the Qualified. You can catch more from Sticks Tuesdays on his Doctor Who show, which is pretty much like this one. He just kind of sits there. And then you can catch more from Dom every Sunday on the Star Wars show over on Renovision. And you can catch all of us back here next Thursday with more professional wrestling goodness on Off the Mat. Dom, send us out with words of wisdom.
It doesn't cost a lot to be nice. You can be a nice person. You definitely see something that looks a little off. You can always lend a helping hand. So remember, everybody's getting older in life, and if you're younger, you can always help that older person across the street, buy him a meal. Just
might be me.
I'm just it's the truth because it's just a lot of people forget. People grow up, they forget the people that took care of them, or the people that were in their lives. It's like that. No, many people do their own thing, but it's okay to help somebody who needs a helping hand and love. Just be a genuine good person. It doesn't cost you anything at all. That's
true.
My words of wisdom today.
Very good.
And, I mean, if that doesn't work for you, you could always live by Dom's ultimate motto. Shake it once, it's fine. Shake it twice, that's okay. Shake it 3 times, you're playing with yourself again.
In the ring, the lights go down. Roaring crowd, they scream and shout. Chants echo, shaking the ground. Warriors clash, the game is found.